So let's do a little trade recap here. So pretty much the trade was very simple. Ideally, first I was looking at shorts, right, with this S&T at the highs, pre 10 a.m. So we had this SMT here, right, and we had a PSP, right, where we formed that hourly. By the way, who also took that trade with me? Did anybody take that trade? So pretty much we formed this hourly PSP, and then this forward candle opens up and distributes, right? So I was expecting shorts. If I got an entry, I would have probably taken it. But we see this flip in order flow, but especially like I mentioned right here, we're in a 15-minute rally gap here on ES, right, where price, taps into this 15-minute gap and then has a failure to continue lower. And so at this same point here, right, on NQ, for me, it was either, are we going to continue lower, right, and this be a retracement, or are we going to, continue higher? And so once I saw this SMT be put in, right, so we have internal SMT, we have external SMT with this hourly swing point, and then we have more SMT here. I can show you guys. And we have more SMT here as well. So we have SMT here, right? Clearly see Nasdaq takes that out while ES doesn't. We have an internal SMT with that 4-hour candle, so the 8 a.m. low does not get taken out on ES, but it gets taken out on Nasdaq. And we have more internal SMT. So the internal SMT here being this right here. Alright, so Nasdaq creates a low. And so an important thing to take away from this is, even though we got this change in the state delivery, right, what I've noticed in my back tested results, waiting for the stronger asset to create that change in the state delivery ready to continue lower helps not getting faked out from SMTs. So let's say I entered here on Nasdaq, I would have just got stopped out, right, because this is just an SMT. Now I waited for ES, right, to get a significant closure below here, because that would filter out, if we're actually going to continue lower. So if ES had a change in the state delivery here, it most likely would continue lower and then would continue in the sell side delivery, right? But because it didn't, and the stronger asset failed to continue lower, we formed that SMT, showing me that, okay, price still wants to continue higher. We're inside of that 15-minute gap. We have this nice change in the state delivery at this level right here, right, which we take our position off of perfectly, and we just target this high up here. So this trade played out very beautifully here. This was pretty much the trade, right? Played out absolutely amazing. I think it was like something like this. So, I mean, it might continue expanding. For me, we got our piece of the pie, especially on a Friday. Right, so this is an absolutely beautiful trade. We had 3-stage SMT. We had a 15-minute change in state. We had that accumulation. Right, the most important thing here is, I mean, for me, I've gotten so used to, seeing the accumulation manipulation where I don't really have to mark it out, and I want you guys to be the same, right, is where we have that accumulation, manipulation into this gap, right, and then that distribution. And then, like on Q mentioned, this is also a market maker model, right, where we have our original consolidation here. We tap into this higher time frame point of interest. We have our lower time for reversal with this change in the state delivery, with that SMT, right, internally, externally, right, and then we have this change in the state delivery to confirm that reversal. So we get that change in state, we retrace into here for our second stage of accumulation. So let me just do this. Original consolidation, tap into here, reversal with that SMT, right? Change in state, second stage of accumulation off that change in state, and then we target the original consolidation high, which would be this right here. So that market maker model, that 15-minute, 1-minute market maker model gets executed very beautifully. So yeah, I mean, that's a trade. Very nice day, very clean, very simple. And yeah, I mean, like I say, guys, let the market tell you what to do, right? Don't marry a bias. I was very short until I saw those SMTs, and I reacted to the market, not just marrying my short bias and removing my ego. Because of course I want to be right on the first time, right? And of course when I'm trading in front of, people, think about it logically, I have that ego of, being right. I want people to see that I'm right and stuff. And that's not how trading is, right? I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, and that's something, I think a good quality that I have is keeping it real with you guys, right? Um, where if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm gonna tell you guys I'm wrong, right? I just follow that logic. I'm just a guy who looks at the market, does follows that logic, follows that model. And of course, I don't want to be wrong, but if I'm wrong and I see a flip, I'm just gonna react to the market. First time I'm wrong, second time, if I'm wrong, in this case, it was just a waiting game, right? Like for me, it was if we get this change in the state delivery, I'll take it short. If we don't, right, I'll take this long, and that's just it's as simple as that, right? Create that if then statement, and you become profitable. So that's the day, guys. If there's any questions, if there's no questions, we could call it a day here, quick day. Very